Hello, friends. Hello, hello. Hello. Hey, April. Welcome in. Welcome in, friends. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Carla. Hello, friends. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, friends. Welcome, welcome. All right, so we are going to be working on Legit Kits Iris month 2. So we're going to be working on these 4 blocks right here. When we're all done at the end of the year, it'll look like this. And today we are working on these 4 blocks right here. Okay? So when you get into the kit that's going to come, it's going to come with, this is what today's final project is going to look like. Here it is broken down into the blocks on the pattern side, finished side. These are all the colors that we're going to use, broken down by colors. And here they are, alphabetically by their symbol. Welcome in, friends. Hello, hello. Of the 4 blocks today, 3 of them are going to be subunits. So this shows you how to put those subunits together. And then this is how to get the best use out of the colors. So I am not doing this at full size. I am doing it at 3/4 size. So I took my pattern and I took it to the copy machine and I said, please print it at 70 or copy it at 75% because where I want to put it is too big. So I'm making it a little bit smaller, 3/4 of the size. So let's get started. So B4 is the first piece that I've got here on top, and this is the only one that is all in one. So we'll work on this. Let me just cut off this excess paper on here. And this block has 8 pieces to it. So we're going to put this piece to this one, and then we'll put on number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You know what I forgot? I need to get... I didn't plug in I didn't plug this in. Yes, this is a light box. Helps me to be able to see the fabric. It is not cut resistant, so there is a transparent or translucent cutting mat on top of it. So, 2 pieces that we're going to start with. We're going to start with the color QA and JG. So I've got them in my folder over here. QA and JG. So I need to find a piece that's about the right size. These are actually all scraps. There's always more than enough fabric in a Legit Kits pattern, so I always save all my little pieces to use them in another project somewhere. QA is Caribbean. This one I think I might have bought some extra to do a binding somewhere maybe, because this is not the original color. Now I can see through here to see where my cutting lines are going to be. So I can kind of cut this out a little bit. I like to make sure I've got enough but not like a lot extra. So I'm gonna set that on there. Pull that out. Cut that off. Welcome in, friends. Welcome, welcome. Now this JG is just a tiny little piece here. I'll whack off a piece here. All right, now we're going to flip this over. Now instead of trying to cut that to the right angle, I'm just going to put this on at the right angle. And then we'll trim it off once we get it cut. You know what? I need to change my thread. So I have the wrong color thread in my machine. I want to have something that's in value about the same as what I've got. And I put a light thread on thinking that I was going to start with the lighter parts here. Sorry, doesn't take me long to rethread my machine. Welcome in, friends. Welcome, welcome. Stick around for a little bit and watch as we do some piecing, some foundation paper piecing. This is a pattern from Legit Kits, and it's going to end up looking like a big eyeball. It's called Iris. It is a block of the month project. It just kind of got started. We're only on month 2. It is closed now. You can't jump in midstream on this one, but there will be more block of the month projects coming along. Not sure what the next one will be, but there will be. There will be more block of the month programs coming on. All right, so I'm going to stitch this. I'm going to drop my stitch length down from the default, and this moved on me because I did not print it. The default on my machine is the stitch length is about 2.4. And I'm going to drop that stitch length down to 1.9 or 2. 1.9 for this project since I made everything a little bit smaller. If there were big pieces, I'd stick to 2. The more your fabric gets punctured, the easier it's going to rip away. Now I'm going to cut this excess off. And I'm going to press this over. And my next one is going to be this piece here. That's going to be teal blue TV. Welcome in, friends. That one will work real nice right there. Welcome, friends. Welcome, welcome. Stick around and watch for a little bit. Let me teach you about foundation paper piecing. When we are all done in about another 11 months, you'll end up with a quilt that looks like that. This will get cut off here, and then I'll put this piece back in the scrap bin. And I go ahead and trim that off now. I'm going to take my cardstock, use that to fold against. And actually, the piece we're going to put on next is this one here. Number 4 is SU, piece of spruce. We'll fold that over, trim it down. Try to find a piece about the right size. Hello, friends. Hello, hello. Hi, Shannon. Welcome in. I'm working on Iris. That'll work just beautifully there. Cut that down right about like that. Shove all those back in there. And that's going to go there. Thank you for all the likes, Shannon. Welcome in, friends. Welcome, welcome. Hello. And we'll stitch this one. And then we're going to press this open. All right, and then back to QA here. That'll work nicely there. Cut it a little bit generously, but not too much. Thank you for all those likes, Shannon. Hello, friends. Welcome in. Introduce yourselves. Who's in here? Who's hanging out with us today with Shannon? Are there any other quilters in here? If you tap, 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 tap. Oh, hey, Matt. If you tap, 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 tap that screen, it lets the algorithm know that people are in here watching, and maybe sends this out to the FYP a little bit more. So be like Shannon. Tappity tap, tap, tap. Share this with any of your quilting friends. You're not a quilter, but a quilt enthusiast. You told the hubby I couldn't sew, at least I could listen to a sewing machine. There you go. You're normally a sewer though, aren't you, Shannon? Okay, we need this chalkboard, dark gray color. Not with that piece. Not quite. There we go. I can go with that piece. You do so, you just have it in a few weeks, and you're going crazy. Ah! Someone get her a sewing machine, stat! All right, this one's gonna go right here. I match that up, and then we're gonna fold it over. And I'm gonna throw a couple pins in. Just to make sure that it's not going anywhere. Why does this always do that? My phone just lost connection with my TV. I think he's fixing to tie me to my sewing chair and make me sew something. Yeah, I get it. Sometimes it's hard to get to the sewing room, studio, or whatever we're going to call it. But then when we do get here, it's like, why was I not here? I feel so much better here. Everything works better when I'm here. All right, we're going to try to reconnect. There, I reconnected with my TV. Let's see how long it stays this time. All right, we need SU again. Studio. Sorry, it's been a long week. All right, we're gonna cut it right about like that. Pull that tablecloth out from under the table, or under the fine china. Welcome, friends. Welcome in. So that's gonna fit there, and we'll flip it over. Thank you, Matt and Shannon, for the likes. All right, one more piece on this. We've got piece 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more, and we'll have this whole block done. Now we need cyan. a whole bunch of pieces in here. Let's see if there's any that are going to be about that size. There we go. Perfect. Almost perfect. Paper piecing always. You had a bad teacher. It scares you. Watching Amy's the first time I understand what's going on. Oh, Shannon, thank you. Yeah, paper piecing is something that is so completely backwards from anything else that you're going to do in the quilting world. And you don't get it, you don't get it, you don't get it. And then finally you either hear somebody else explain it, you watch somebody else do it, or the synapses in your brain just finally, and it's like, oh, it makes sense now. And once it makes sense, there is so much that you can do with it. Your world is wide open once that connection is made. I mean, who would have thought that you could make a quilt that looks like an eyeball? Or Sculliver, or the Hummingbird, or King Tut, or the Vortex. There's so many things that Legit Kits has pulled together. All right, so this is that whole block. I'm going to trim it down. Now I need to remember, since I sized this down, this 1/4 inch, this seam line is no longer 1/4 of an inch. So I need to put the inside of my add 1/4 right on the sewing line so that I end up with an actual 1/4 inch seam allowance. But watching you is better than the class I took. Never went back to the shop. Oh, and you know what? Somebody else is going to watch me and go, what in the world is she talking about? I can't understand her. I don't get it. And that's fine. Everybody learns differently. That's why, 3rd grade math, they teach them 17 different ways to add four numbers, because everybody has a different way of understanding. All right, so here is piece B4. Before you learn, it's confusing. Once you figure it out, it's perfect. So there we go. So there's that one. And we're going to set this aside. Sorry, paper hanging out. And now we're going to do B3. Lightbox does make a huge difference. You're getting it now in less than 5 minutes. Awesome! I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm working on getting a affiliate code with Legit Kits. I've got to... Now, if someone can sit with me with that and help me figure out what the bloody heck I'm looking at, that would be awesome. Because I'm just... Maybe my ADD brain is just having a hard time computing. I don't know. All right, so this B3 is actually in 3 pieces. There are no Y seams, there are no curved seams in this. There's also no templates because no 2 of these pieces are the same size or shape. So this is all going to go together like this once it's done. Okay? Sorry, I'm like totally in a bad spot. It's right over all of the... It's going to look like this when it's done. So we're going to work on piece A, B, and C, and then we'll put A to B and AB to C. Okay? Thank you for the follow, Twin Flames. Welcome in. I'm so glad that you are understanding foundation paper piecing a little bit more now. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm here. All right, so now this piece, whoops. It's piece 1, 2, 3, and I just grabbed the color I just grabbed number 3 for. Pay attention, Amy. We'll hold it there for now. Okay, QA is piece 1. So back to this Caribbean. Thank you for all of the likes, guys. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to put this. Yeah, that'll work. And yes, I do. All of the pieces from Legit come with a little sticker on it. This is part of a kit and leftovers from others. I leave the sticker on because there are so many Kona colors that are so similar. This one here, Twin Flames. Twin Flames, what's your real name so I can call you by a real name or your nickname other than Twin Flames? Anyways, this is a block of the month project. Unfortunately for you, signups for this have closed, but there will be other block of the month projects coming. Just be patient. I don't know what's coming next, but they are going to be doing a whole bunch of really cool things. Oh, you know what? You are the good Karen. Because not all Karens are Karens, and you are a good Karen. You're a good Karen until proven otherwise, and I don't think you're going to prove yourself otherwise. All right, so we're going to use that like that. Now I'm going to cut JG. So let's see, will this fit? This will, and this will be the last. I'll use this piece up here. So my little thing. This is my cemetery for all the stickers. I stick them in there. That's just me. All right. Oh, my TV just froze again. Darn it. I need to just break down and buy the old version of the Chromecast. Because that one works fine. I just took I took it downstairs. So I could have it when I'm on my long arm. And when I went to buy a new one, all I could find was the fancy one. And it keeps disconnecting. I'm going to put a couple pins in here just to hold it still. You could also use a little bit of glue, but then you got to deal with getting the glue off. Okay. Not crazy about how that lays down. So I'm going to just kind of tweak it a little. And then we're going to stitch it. And remember, we're going to make our stitch length a little bit smaller than standard so that it perforates a little bit more, so that it's easier to get rid of the paper when we don't need the paper anymore. And then I'm going to press this. I do use a lot of steam. That's just me. I'm going to tear that paper away just a little bit. I'm going to use cardstock. This is a recipe card, or the other ones that I've got. When I can't find this one, I've got some like stuff that came in the mail, junk mail. Put that right on my next sewing line. Fold over, and then use my add a quarter, which has that little bit of a ridge to it. So it's going to butt right up against there. and trim that extra off. This is me being a cheapskate. Yeah, I could use that. That actually is bigger than I thought it was going to be. All right, and then we're going to use this MD, that one that I originally pulled out. Sheila, thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. All right. Then we'll flip this over. That piece is going to fit right there. And I'm going to flip that back over. Throw a pin in it to hold it still. And give it a stitch. Welcome in, friends. Welcome, welcome. I am apparently out of bobbin thread. It did not stitch. When you have no bobbin thread, your seam, not so good. I did have another one made. I knew I was low. I kind of just forgot. I forgot I was low. Apparently there was just enough to do that last seam, because that last seam did hold well. Oh, no, it did run short. Let me go stitch that, restitch that. I disconnected already. I was air sewing, yes, I was air sewing. And then we're going to trim this down. Remember, Amy, since you copied this to be smaller, make sure you still got your 1/4 inch seams. Now there was an area here where I went a little short. I didn't quite cover, but that will be within the seam allowance, so I'm okay with that. All right, so I'm going to set that one aside, and now we're going to do B3B. And piece number 1 is going to be color CL. What had always turned me around with paper piecing is that we see the back side of the paper. Yeah. You sew on the yeah, you have to turn around and put your fabric on the back side of the paper. It makes it a whole lot easier if you're using fabric that there isn't a right and wrong side, whether it's solids or if it's batiks. When you are first starting out with foundation paper piecing, absolutely start with one of those. It will make your project much more successful and much less frustrating. And yeah, when I discovered the the light box was just kind of one of those, oh, where have you been my whole life? My whole quilting time, where have you been? One of my dogs is downstairs having a dream. I can hear him. We're going to cut that off. And that will go in there. And then I do need to trim this down because it's not quite a 90-degree angle. And I've got enough to cover it. So I just need, I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm just going to angle that down a little bit. The teacher I had did not get us to use, yeah, you know what, and the light box is something I figured out on my own. Yeah, you're holding it up to the window, you're holding it up to a glass table, a glass coffee table works well. What kind of light box am I using? You cannot cut directly on it. It is 2 pieces here. This is not rotary cutter safe. This is a transparent cutting mat. Both of these I got off Amazon. Monica, thank you for the share. Both of them I got off Amazon, and if you look in my link tree, there is an Amazon link there. I don't get anything. I'm not an Amazon affiliate, but I just shared on there some of the tools that I use to make life in paper piecing better. That one looks like it's going to fit on there beautifully. Barely beautifully, but beautifully. Let's see if we can make this work. All right, so that's gonna go like that. Didn't quite cut that angle quite right. It still needs to angle a little bit more. It's not the best cutting mat that I've ever used. It's got no name brand on it whatsoever. But it is absolutely worth it. There are big name brand cutting mats or light boxes out there that you can get that are rechargeable. They may even be rotary cutter safe. I have never personally used one, so I can't tell you whether this is better, worse, or indifferent. All I know is I saw the price tags, and I said, what else is out there? There's got to be something else out there. This particular light box, I actually permanently borrowed it from my husband. He does a lot of stained glass work, and I had bought it for him for that. And I borrowed it. Loved it, and said, honey, you need a bigger one. So I bought him a bigger one and kept his. And I am going to get Jack out because I need to shift this green one that way, about that far. So we're going to unstitch this. I'm going to stick a pin in here because this blue one is in a good spot. The green one just needs to shift a little bit. And this is the drawback to using those teeny tiny stitches, is there's a lot of stitches to take out. But they come out pretty quick. You need to feed your hubby. When will I be live again? I honestly don't know. Usually Sunday so days we're on here with some other friends. I will be on here. This is probably going to take me, I'll probably be on here for at least another hour. I probably will not be live tomorrow. I have some family obligations tomorrow. But you go feed hubby. I'll be here. If you want to see this all in its entirety, I will, once it's available, I will download it and then upload it onto my YouTube channel. Same name over there. So give me a day or two. The downloads are not always immediately available, and then it takes a while to download them and a while to upload them. So it won't be tonight that it'll be over there, but I'll get it up over there. All right. I just put it away. That's the color I need for the next one. Same color on both of these, piece 2 and piece 3. I'm gonna trim this up. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you find it that way. I will try to follow you back when I get off of here. Yeah, it'll show me who followed me on the live. I'll follow you back. Just gonna trim off my selvage here so I can use this piece. Yeah, it's gonna go there. So if anybody's just hopping on, I am working on a foundation paper piecing project. It will look like this when we are all done in a year. It is by Legit Kits. This is a block of the month project that if you hadn't already signed up, the sign-ups are closed, but there will be other block of the month projects that will be coming up. Legit Kits is all foundation paper pieced. No Y seams, no curves. Most of their projects are very easy, very beginner friendly, or at least part of it. Some of their blocks are. Some of their projects leave lots of room to grow. So there may be parts of them that are pretty easy, and then other parts where once you've been doing it, once you get done with a project, you'll be skilled enough to do that. But again, it's all just triangle pieces that you're putting together. All of the pieces are different in the project. That's why there are no templates. There's no repetition to these. But what you end up with is something that is truly spectacular. Now I need TB. Teal blue. Is this big enough? It is. It is, it is, it is. Right like that. Throw a pin on there to hold it still. Keep it from migrating while we go over to the machine. And one more, and it's again TB. From one kit to another, Legit uses the same codes for every color. So teal blue is going to be TB, no matter whether it's in this project or another one. That'll work there. Anyone have any comments or questions? Welcome in if you're new stopping in. Welcome, friends. Welcome, welcome. All right, now we're going to trim this one up. All right, so there is that. So these guys are going to hook together. We'll do that here in just a moment. First off, we're going to do this. So we've got 3 pieces here. JG, GL, and SU. JG, Jade Green, that'll work right there. And Legit always gives you more than enough fabric to do these. All right. You were looking for the car quilt to show hubby. Yes, it is awesome. This pattern is Iris. It is from Legit Kits. This is a Block of the Month program. It is currently closed, but those of you that did get to sign up, I'm just kind of doing a little sew along in case you have any questions about how to do. Because there's some newbies, some new foundation paper piece people in here. Because it is an entry-level project. Yep, that'll work there. I'm just going to cut that off here. Yes, this is Iris. Thank you, Shannon, for giving all of that information. All right, so this piece will go there. All right, so now we're going to flip it over on the back. That piece is going to go there. There's my seam line right there. This one longer on this side. So right there. And we will throw a couple pins in here to hold it still. And stitchy stitch. What? Why was that? How did that happen? My stitch length was somehow on 4.4. Well, that was... I don't know how I did that. Anyways, I can just sew over it, and that's okay. Right, and now we've got SU here. So another piece of spruce. Looking to see if I have any tiny pieces, because this piece that I need is, well, it's bigger. It's bigger than that, but... Not sure why my Google Assistant just decided that it needed to pop in. Not necessary. That'll work there. Alright. Alright, like that. And let's stitch this down. Alright, now I'm going to trim this up. Alright, so now we've got all three pieces that are going to make up B3. So I'm going to stitch these together. I'm going to make sure that these intersections match up. This intersection here of the seam line matches up with this intersection of the seam line. This is where having some fine pins comes in handy. I'm going to stick it straight in where I think the seams all come together and flip it over and, yeah, agree that, yep, that is true. And then we'll stick it in there. And then I'm going to come down here. Same thing. Yep. And we're going to go here. Same thing. Stick that in there. And it didn't quite come out in the right spot, so we'll just make a little adjustment. There we go. Now it's in the right spot. Now that I've got these all poked through at the right places, now I'm going to take another pin and I'm going to go as close to flat as I can. And there. And then I may stick another one here in between. And I'm going to stitch right on that line. Take my pins out as I go along. You don't want to stitch on a on a pin. I've done that and I regretted it. Messed up my bobbin case underneath. Alright, so there, we're right on the line. And yay, right on the line. Now I'm going to take the paper off that is in the seam allowance. When you get this kit from Legit Kits, these will be all printed out on newsprint. If, like me, you want to make it a smaller quilt and you size down your patterns, print it out on newsprint if you can. You can get it off Amazon. It's relatively inexpensive. It just tears away easier. If you aren't able to get newsprint, trick that I've come up with is just take the back side of your seam ripper and you're just going to follow right along the stitches and it will rip it. You can hear it there. And then it's going to come right off. And you want to tear out, not in. If you start at the outside and tear in, you run the risk of unstitching those last couple stitches. Now with this, you've got all of these seams coming together. I'm going to press this open. I'm going to press that seam open. And that's going to help us deal with the bulk the best. Because if you press it open, you've got 3 layers or 3 fabrics going this way. You got 4 fabrics going this way. You press them all to one side or the other, you're going to have 7 fabrics on the one side. So that's there. And look at how perfect that seam is because we've used foundation paper piecing. All right, and now we're going to put these guys together. We'll match up this intersection with that intersection, that, and that. Stick that pin right through at that intersection. And right there. And right there at that intersection. And that intersection. All nice and square, so I'm going to stick my horizontal pins in. Oop, that just went weird. I'm going to stick another one in the middle here. And then I'm going to stitch right on that seam line. Alright, so now we're just going to get rid of that the paper in the seam line. Keep wanting to think my garbage is on this side. It's wonderful when you do have some decent fingernails to grab onto it. And of course I broke my pinky, or my index finger nail earlier this week. So now we're just going to open this up. Give this a good press. And there we go. Now we've got two. So this is B3 and B4. So these guys will end up going together like this. Now we've got A4 is 2 pieces. Guess it helps if we put this away. Paper scissors to trim this down. Welcome in, friends. There we go. Trying to figure out how to do something here. Yes, no music because I am going to throw this over onto YouTube when I'm done and they don't like music. So yes, there is no music with right now. Very sad, isn't it? All right, so 5 pieces here. We're going to start out with GL. Is this piece big enough? This piece isn't big enough. Is this piece big enough? Yes. Welcome in, friends. Welcome. All right. So, I'm going to trim this extra off. And I need GP, graphite. I believe that's what GP is. Yep, graphite with the gray ones. And we'll cut a piece for there. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit too tight. All right, this one over here. All right, and then we're going to flip this over. Put this piece on here, put this teal piece on here, and this piece is going to fit there. Flip that over. pin it down. Da-da-da-da-da-da. All right. So we'll sew this. This one is a little more challenging than the first block of the month that we did, which was Vortex, but it is still very much in the easy category. These pieces are a little smaller than what you're going to find in the kit because I have shrunk it down because where I want to put this, the full-size one is just too big. So I put it on the copier, reprinted it at 75%. This is month 2, and month 2 is going to be A3, A4, B3, B4. I happen to be sewing them backwards. I did B4 first, and then B3, and now I'm doing A4, and then I'll do A3. I just had them backwards in my pile. But yes, this is what comes with month 2. There, we're going to flip that over and stitch it down. Release that paper so we can fold that over and trim off the excess. Hey Rachel, what you up to tonight? Thanks for the ice cream, yum yum. All right, now we're gonna do MD. What are you up to tonight? That's not big enough for there. You're avoiding. Avoiding what? What are you avoiding? Yes, okay. I understand. I think I totally understand what you're talking about. You're avoiding life. You're avoiding all the other people in your house. You're avoiding work, including housework. I totally get that. You're avoiding the family animals, the family drama, the work drama. Totally get it. 100%. those pins out. All right, one more piece on this one. You just went to 3 stores with the girls. Oh, okay, you're okay. I right there. Up to that point, you were having a great day. Okay, totally get what you're talking about. 3 stores with girls. Yeah, yeah. Oh, hey, look, that piece is perfect size. Just when you think that's not big enough to keep, there, it's perfect size. Bold Demon Mars. That's a bold name. All right, now we're going to trim this block up. Anyone have any great weekend plans? It's supposed to be pretty rainy and bushy here, so nothing outside. All right, so there is A4B. Now we're going to do A4A. All right, so we want V. Trying to find a piece that might be right about the same size and shape. You have to go to the post office in the morning, and the girls are going to Chuck E. Cheese. Oy. I plan on checking on the parents around 7 a.m. and then home to sew. Woohoo! Yes, we have to go hang out with the mother-in-law tomorrow. So I'm going to bring some hand sewing because I know she'll fall asleep. We're going to help her get her Christmas tree up. We're going to hopefully have a decent day. Hopefully my brother-in-law will stay out of my way. And we'll have a nice day. Tony and the girls should get home about the same time. Home by myself with all my stuff done. Woo! Nice. All right. And then I need CY, cyan. Is that big enough? It is. It is. Perfect. And I'll just trim off the excess and then go from there. So that goes there. And this one is going to end up fitting like that. Hilda's down there dreaming again. Come organize your fabric? No. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. You couldn't pay me enough money to organize somebody else's studio. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Because what works for me may not work for you. Sorry. So the color will, yes, yes. Doesn't matter what kit you use cyan in, it is always going to use the same code of CY. So I can save that piece. I have a folder that has all of my little scraps and pieces in it. I keep the stickers on until the piece is no longer usable. And then once it's done, this is my little trophy case. I keep the sticker for posterity, I guess. But yeah. So we're going to tear the paper. Put that right on the seam line. Fold it over. And trim. This goes back in the folder. Now number 3 is OS. Yes, it is a cool thing for them to do. Yep. All right. Makes life easier for everybody involved. For them, for us, for everybody involved, if that code stays the same. When I started my first legit kit, I did not have these nice folders. I had page protectors. Now you can get a box or a package of what, like 100 of them for, I don't know, $10 or something, if that. I haven't bought them in a while. And just the little plastic sleeves that you would put a page in. And that's how I kept my pieces together and everything organized. And it works. It was kind of a pain in the butt to get stuff in and out of them. So once I'd done probably 2 or 3, I don't know. Once I'd done a few, I started looking around to see what would be out there. And I found these. And it's not a cheap cost up front for them, but they last and they work well and they hold everything together. There's only one that has failed on me, and that was one that I was using for black, and because there's a lot of black. Crud. I gotta move it that way. So let me unsew it. First off, it bunched up on me here a little bit. But when I open it up, I'm not quite catching the seam here. So we're just going to unsew. No big. Everybody unsews sometime, right? I appreciate you guys hanging out with me while I work on this. If there's any part that you want any more clarification on, holler out. If there's something you don't understand, holler out. If you have any questions, holler out. Let me know. I am working on an affiliate link with Legit Kits, so hold tight for that. I need to make that a priority and figure it out. It's been sitting on my computer waiting for hopefully just the last couple steps to be done for a couple months. Alright, so I needed to move this whole thing that way just a little bit. And make sure that it stitches doesn't bunch up on me. it under the needle. I think it just totally bunched up. Let's just make sure we go good this time. Yeah, it looks better. Oh, on so many fronts it looks better. All right. There we go. And we're going to fold this over. Now we need MD, and we're going to need MD down here too. Go ahead and trim this one too. Alright, that's this one here. That's perfect for there. That'll be good for right there. I'm just going to trim this one. That. When you sew it, the paper is up. Yes, you put it through the sewing machine like this, so that you can see the line that you need to stitch on. So that's the other reason why I pin them in place sometimes, because you can't tell if it shifts just a little bit. Like that. Flip it over. And then sometimes I get brave and adventurous and just don't pin it. I'm a rebel that way. You're learning. That's awesome. All right. So now I've got these two that I'm going to press open. All right. And there we go. And let's trim this up. All right, so now these two are gonna match up. Put that seam there, we'll match those 2 points. There. And that intersection to almost. Iris is amazing. Yes, it is. Full-size iris was just a little too big for where I want to put it. So that's why we're making it again. Making it along with you guys. And I'm making it at 3/4 size. Maybe I'll get an eye doctor that wants to buy the full-size one from me. Wouldn't that be cool in an eye doctor's office? I even bought the little rulers for the class I took at our guild. Your teacher wasn't good. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. So sorry. There is a legit pattern out there that is small and super simple. It's called, it's a landscape. You'll see it if you're on there. And right now it's on sale for $89. I actually just ordered it myself. It's a kit that was only available to do in legit kit classes last year. They're doing one that kind of adds on to it right now. She didn't know how to explain what she was doing. That's hard. You know what? It's hard to teach. Some people can be awesome and absolutely know what they're doing. But being able to explain to somebody how to do something, I'm much better at it on camera here, to be completely honest, than in person. But yeah, knowing how to explain things is hard. Not everybody is a teacher. And sometimes we just have crappy days and we just don't, our words don't work well. She didn't know how to explain what she was doing. Thank you, Shannon. All right. Now we're going to press this seam open and we will have 3 of our 4 blocks done. There we go. Trim off that little dog ear there. There's one over here too. All right, one more. And this one again is 2 pieces. Doop-a-doop. And then we will put all 4 of them together and be done for the night. Then I'll get off of here. And I may get back on. You know what I'm realizing as I'm sitting here? I didn't eat dinner. So I need to take a dinner break after this. And then I may be back on later. I don't know. We'll see. I may go to bed. I don't know. Undecided yet. Okay, so this one, if you were here when I very got on this evening, we're working on this block right here right now, A3. There is a very light part to it. There is a very dark part to it. I'm going to do the dark part first because I have some dark thread on. And then I'm going to change my thread and put some very light thread in to do this one so that I'm less likely to see my stitches. Okay? It's hydrate front. Thank you for reminding me. I did get some seltzer out and I forgot to open it. So, and this is just seltzer. No alcohol, just water and bubbles and cranberry flavor. So there we go. So I'm going to do this part that has the darker colors, and then I'll do this part. All right. So I'm going to start with JG. Will this work? It will. Stick that way up there. That will work there. And now I need an MB. Pretty big piece. That piece will work, and then I'll trim off the excess and put the excesses back in the bins. All right, so JG goes here. And this is going to go here. skinny pins. Well, I turned that over because I don't have it quite straight. This side needs to tweak just a little. There we go. Alright, and turn this out. Okay, then we're going to trim this. It's like, where'd my card go? There it is. And we actually need that MD back again. That'll work right there perfectly. All right, like that. Flip it over. Fabric roost. Hello, friends. Welcome in. I don't know who sticks around and who doesn't. I just happen to see a nice name there. All right. And we're going to flip this. That's just about perfect. I'm going to trim this off. I think we are done with this for this one. Cyan. That'll be perfect there. Another tombstone for the graveyard. All right. And one more on here. Now we're going to V. flip it over and give it a stitch. And we'll trim this whole block, or partial block, subunit. Hello friends, welcome in. Alright, now I'm going to put that lighter thread on because we're doing the lightest part of this here. But we won't go far with the light thread, or with the darker thread, because we're going to have to put all those blocks together here in a moment. We're just going to do like 4 seams with the light thread. Alright, so we're going to do this with the light thread. These are all light fabrics. So we're going to start out with KY, lighter fabrics. Will that work? Nope, not quite. Although, actually, it will. There's enough left to worry about. May end up with another tombstone here. Okay, I'm going to trim this to be the right angle. Alright, and then we need V. Alright, so KY like that, V like that, feed it over, and pin it down. All right. And, gonna need V again. So I shouldn't have put it away. there. Big enough. Ish. Is that better? Yes. Rid of my selvage here. Alright, now that piece, cut a little extra big for there, and we're going to flip it over. Tack it down. One more piece of fabric, and then we'll put this block together, and then all 3 blocks together. We have just a few more seams to go, and we'll be done. We should be done well before 9 o'clock. So this is going to take about 2 hours to do. 2 hours of confident, steady work. If you are more of a novice to foundation paper piecing, it's going to take you a little bit longer, obviously. But it is very doable. 2 hours of work over a full month. So, you know, an afternoon here and an afternoon there, a couple Saturday afternoons, Sunday afternoons, you'll have it put together. All right, so cut that a little generous for that, and we're going to put it there, flip it over, and stitch it down. And press it open, or press it up. So there's all that. And we're going to trim this. Ruh-roh. My attic quarter just fell in the garbage. Alrighty. So we're going to sew that to that. Now we do have lights and darks. So I could sew this with either the light thread or the dark thread, either or. I'm going to go to the light thread since I still have it on my machine. All right. Pin across there. And stitch my seam. All right. Okay, let's see. I struggle with getting my larger pieces angled correctly. Sometimes I have to piece a corner. That is a perfectly acceptable thing to do, is to piece your corner. No one will ever know. I just made that up. I just made up. I did not do a great corner there, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Do I have a suggestion? If you have a light box, that will help. Are you using fabric that has a right side and a wrong side? Or are you using something like a solid or a batik? It doesn't matter which way it goes, because that makes the cutting easier. You don't have a light box. If you don't have a light box, find something that you can shine light through. The project boxes, the clear boxes that you get in the scrapbooking section. Put a flashlight in there. That will help. Or glass top coffee table. That will help you shine the light up through so that you can see the angles. Hold it up to the mirror, to the window. Once you get so that you've got some light coming up through, find some sort of a marking device, whether if it's dark fabric, a white pencil, or because you're going to also be marking it way out here extra big. Mark on there where you want that fabric. You know, I need a piece that's going to cover that size. And that way, then you'll know, okay, I've got that about right. If you have access to a copier machine or your printer copier, and you're okay with the extra paper, print your paper, your pattern a second time, cut out each individual piece, and use those as a pattern. You've been holding it up to a light. Yeah. And that's hard. It's hard when it makes it just that much more difficult when you've got a fabric that you need to have a right side and a wrong side. That's why I say when you get started out with foundation paper piecing, go with solids, go with batiks where it doesn't matter right side, wrong side. That just gives you that much extra fudge room. doing it with a standard fabric that has a right side and a wrong side just intensifies the level of difficulty a little bit. There we go. There's that last piece. Didn't get the best corner there, but I'm okay with it. I'm gonna go with it. So now we've got our 4 pieces here, and we're gonna put all of these together. So we're gonna use the same technique where we used before. We're using that pin to find that matching point. You can make it, make another copy and use that as a pattern piece. So now we're going to put these 4 pieces together and then we'll be done. So I'm going to start with these 2. And I'm going to pin the heck out of this. So these 2 actually kind of nest together. So I'm going to run with that. You don't always end up with that with foundation paper piecing. So now here I'm going to put a pin there and there. Perfect. And because that's so close to the edge, I'm just going to go ahead and pin that. And here I'm going to match up the seam. Now you don't have to go to this extreme, as long as you don't mind if your points aren't quite perfect. Some people are skilled enough that they can still get those points perfect. Oh, I'm going to put my dark with red back on, because that's mostly dark. My needle threader doesn't work right, so I have to actually like thread it. All right, there we go. Now we'll stitch this. Take those pins out before you stitch over them. You can get lucky 1,000 times and stitch over them, and then that one time that you don't can cost you money for a replacement part. All right, so there we go. Match it up. Actually, I'm going to redo this top part because that did not line up well. And it's not, I can tell that it's not going to lay flat. So I'm just going to take out like this much of it. Excuse me while I'm being picky. Picky on some stuff and not on others. That's better. All right. I'll take the paper out of the seam line. Just like when we're putting the subunits together, we'll get rid of that paper. And then we'll press that seam open. There's those two. Now we're going to get these two put together. Line up these intersections. Get them all together. And the other thing you want to remember when you're doing a lot of foundation paper piecing is keep your sewing machine clean and dusted out. This paper will add just that much more dust and debris into your machine. I cleaned this one out right before we got started tonight. I'm gonna probably clean it out every maybe 10 blocks that I make. Every time I put a new bobbin in, I'm gonna grab my old discarded paintbrush and go in there and get out all of the fluffy duffies. And then every couple times, I'm gonna use one of these itty bitty makeup remover, I think it's a makeup remover. Anyways, one of these itty bitty Q-tips to go down inside. Don't ever blow into your sewing machine because you will blow it into the crevices you'll blow it into the depths of your machine just to have it be a problem another day. It will not blow out, it's just gonna fill your corners. All right, we got row A, row B. Now we're going to put these guys together and then we'll be done. And that is it. So is there anybody in here tonight that is doing iris? Almost done here. Match up all these. Making a Highland cow. Nice. All right, one more here. All right, here we are. Here is the last of it. It's a mini quilt. Nice. Now I'm going to leave the paper on these since I'm not putting the whole thing together here. Typically, I might, like this part here, I would take the papers out of because everything in here is secured and it's locked together. I am going to take out of this itty bitty little one up here in the corner because once I press this seam open, that's going to be very challenging to get to that one. But typically I'll leave the papers on until that section is fully surrounded by seams. All right, let's press this open. And then just give everything a good steamy press so it all lays nice and flat. So many biases when you work with foundation paper piecing. With that good steamy press, kind of helps everything remember where it's supposed to be laying. All right, so there we go. We've got everything done for tonight. This is this section right up here. That bit of the eye. But anyways, we are all done here. Any final questions? Hey Matthew, how are you? Did you get your, what was it, your washing machine delivered? You're doing great tonight. Awesome. So anyways, this is month 2 of the Legit Block of the Month Iris. Signups for this are currently closed. It's coming first thing in the morning. They took the old one. Okay. But anyway, there will be more Block of the Months that are coming. I do not know when they're going to start or what they're going to do. They were talking, there's going to be several that they want to do next year. They may take some of the classic quilts that Legit has, some of the ones that have been very popular, and turn them into Block of the Month so that it's more budget friendly. You're gonna end up paying about the same in the end, but you know, $40 a month instead of one big huge bite. It bites a little less. So anyways, here's this, and again, it's this section here, Legit Kits. I am working on my affiliate link. As soon as I have it pulled together, I will make a video and let you guys all know. But I think I am going to clock out of here for tonight. But it's been fun having you guys here. And I will see you back here in the studio sometime soon. Have a great night. Bye.